I think even Charles would not remember how many girls he's dated. I think he'd be overcrowded in his head. I don't know what Charles choose between coffee and sex. What do you think? Probably sex, for sure. I think he would tie them up with a lace and then spank them with leather, I think. Charles would probably have done that. Charles would prefer anything he can get off you, whether it's diamonds or pearls. I think he'd prefer diamonds because they're probably more expensive. Between guns and women, Charles would always choose women. He was not much of a gun person. I think he was just too cool to carry a firearm. He could get away with anything just by his word. In the film, Charles's favorite girlfriend was probably Mira because he pitied her. Charles doesn't know anything about love, but he is love, mostly self-love. And he can make you believe in love like that. The best part of Charles's job is that he doesn't have a job and he still gets by and he gets everything done. I think Charles hated Europeans and hippies, especially hippies. I think he hated them because they represented the kind of freedom and money background that he probably didn't have as a child. So I think he hated hippies a lot. I don't know whether Charles would kiss and tell. I don't think he'll kiss and tell. Unless there's a purpose behind it. Unless he wanted to make somebody else jealous. I think Charles's first love was his first wife, Chantal. I think through all thick and thin of his life, I think that is the bond that has survived. He's got a daughter by her. I think Charles would trust himself the most. I think he's the kind of person who doesn't rely on anybody as such. I think Charles would prefer bikinis, as you would all know. But I think he might prefer a bikini under a sari so he can unwrap them. I think that might be Charles's thing. I think Charles would prefer whatever you'd prefer. If you like the Eiffel Tower, he'll like the Eiffel Tower and make you believe that he loves it. And if you like the Taj, he'll say that's the greatest monument of love in the world. And both the times, I'm sure he's just trying to get on your good side. He spent so much time in jail, I think he didn't want a bail. I think he thinks jail is his home. He's the king over there. Charles would prefer new because what was his new is now vintage for us. Charles's favorite toy would be Larpos tablets. He'd use them on you and then he'd use you. So be careful of Charles. I think he was more of a formal guy. But I think there's something about Charles that always made me feel that he did not like clothes much. I think he liked being naked more. I think that'd be the thing about Charles. He loved Goa, but I guess he spent a lot of time in Thailand and a lot of his notorious activities that you guys must have heard of. So I think he preferred Thailand a bit more. I think he was most afraid of being abandoned. I think his face twitched when he lied. That's the conclusion I came to. The woman's passport, actually. That would be. And her jewels and her money. That would really turn him on. I think he preferred, he really looked up to Nietzsche and his philosophy, and he really did a lot of reading on his thoughts and stuff, and he imbibed a lot of them. I think he really looked up to that guy. Hypnotic, dangerous, manipulative, intelligent, and damn sexy. Yeah, he was at a loss. You'll see it in the movie. He was at a loss a couple of times, but it was like he recovered very quickly. We get to see Charles on 30th October in a theater near you. मैं और Charles, go watch it, enjoy it. It's a cool, rocking film. मैं और Charles आपको दिखेंगे Fame पे, सब promotions, सब activities. Download it now. It's live.